Problem 8 on composite sphere. A spherical vessel containing hot fluid at 160 degrees Celsius is of 0.4 meter inner diameter and is made of titanium of 25 thickness. The thermal conductivity is 20 watt per meter Kelvin. The vessel is insulated with two layers of 5 centimeter thick insulations of thermal conductivities 0.06 and 0.12 watt per meter Kelvin. There is a contact resistance of 6 into 10 to power minus 4 meter square Kelvin per watt between the metal at the first insulation and between the insulation layers. The outside is exposed to surrounding at 30 degrees Celsius with convection coefficient of 15 watt per meter square Kelvin. Determine the rate of heat loss, temperature drop at the interfaces, and the overall heat transfer coefficients based on inside surface as well as outside surface area. In order to solve this problem, let us first draw the schematic of the given thermal system. Now, as you can see here, in this problem, it consists of a spherical vessel made up of titanium having its inner radius R1 and outer radius R2. It is provided with two insulating material layers, insulation 1 and insulation 2. Both are of same thickness and it is exposed to the surrounding at convective heat transfer coefficient H infinity O and T infinity and temperature as T infinity O. This entire system is carrying hot fluid inside at temperature T infinity I. Now nothing is given regarding the convective heat transfer coefficient of this hot fluid. So I can conclude here, this hot fluid is not going to offer any convective thermal resistance to the path of the heat flow. Let's say thermal conductivity of the sphere material is K1, insulating material 2 K2 and insulating material 3 K3 respectively. These are the interfaces 1, 2 and 2, 3 where spherical vessel and insulation 1 and insulation 1 and insulation 2 are coming into contact respectively. Since T infinity I is greater than T infinity O, heat transfer or heat loss will take place from inside of the sphere to the outside of the sphere, let's say at the rate of Q watt. When heat transfer takes place, temperature drop will take place from 1 to 2 at the interface because contact resistance is coming into picture, 2 to 3, then 3 to 4 in the insulation 1, 4 to 5 at the interface 2, 3, 5 to 6 at the insulation 2, and finally 66 to T infinity O in the fluid layer of surrounding. So this way we can represent different parameters affecting the heat transfer rate in this composite sphere system. Now we can draw the equivalent electrical circuit. So flow quantity will be heat transfer rate. As nothing is mentioned regarding the convective heat transfer coefficient of hot fluid, so it is not going to offer any convective thermal resistance. So there will be no temperature drop from T infinity I to T1. But since spherical vessel material is having finite thermal conductivity, it will offer conductive thermal resistance and temperature will drop. So first thermal resistance will be offered between temperature T1 and T2 by spherical vessel will be conductive thermal resistance represented by RT1. The second thermal resistance is offered at the interface and it is a contact thermal resistance RTC12, which will cause temperature drop from T2 to T3. Then next thermal resistance will be offered by insulation 1, will cause temperature drop from T3 to T4. It will be conductive thermal resistance. The next thermal resistance will be in the form of contact thermal resistance at the interface 2,3 will cause temperature drop from T4 to T5. And next thermal resistance will be offered by insulation 2. It will be conductive thermal resistance RT3 will cause temperature drop from T5 to T6. And final thermal resistance will be offered by the surrounding fluid layer. This will be convective thermal resistance. And finally, heat will be dissipated to the environment. So this way we can draw the equivalent electrical circuit. So as we can see, there will be total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thermal resistances. 3 will be by solid layers, 2 will be in the form of thermal contact resistance, and 1 will be by surrounding fluid, which will be convective thermal resistance. Let us enlist all the given things. So the first parameter given is inner diameter of the spherical vessel as 0.4 meter. So inner radius will be 0.2 meter. The sphere is of 25 mm thickness. So its outer radius will be 0.225 meter. Insulation 1 thickness is 5 centimeter. So its outer radius will be 0.275 meter. Insulation 2 thickness is again 5 centimeter. So its outer radius will be 0.325 meter. Thermal conductivity of the spherical vessel is 20 watt per meter Kelvin. That of insulation 1 is 0.06 and of insulation 2 is 0.12 watt per meter Kelvin respectively. The temperature of the hot fluid is given as 160 and outside temperature is given as 30 degrees Celsius. Convective heat transfer coefficient of surrounding fluid is given as 15 watt per meter square Kelvin. No convective heat transfer coefficient is given for the hot fluid. So we need not to consider any effect arising out of the hot fluid. Then thermal contact resistance at the interface 1 2 is given as 6 into 10 to power 4 meter square Kelvin per watt. Here the thermal contact resistance is given for per unit of area. So in order to maintain the uniformity of units, or I can also say the value of thermal contact resistance into area at the interface 1 2 is 6 into 10 to power minus 4 meter square Kelvin per watt. In order to get thermal contact resistance for total area, thermal contact resistance, to maintain its unit, I have to divide it by surface area at the interface 1 2. So I will get the thermal contact resistance at the interface 1 as RTC12 9.431 into 10 to power 4 Kelvin per watt. Similarly, thermal contact resistance and product of surface area at the interface 2 3 is given as 6 into 10 to power minus 4 meter square Kelvin per watt. In order to maintain the units, I will divide it by the surface area at the interface 2 3. So finally I will get RTC23 as 6.31 into 10 to power 4 Kelvin per watt. So this is necessary to maintain the homogeneity of the units or uniformity of the units of the thermal resistances. The third point is assumptions. So we have to make some assumptions. Very first assumption, one-dimensional steady-state heat transfer. There is no heat generation within any layer of this composite sphere system. Though we are assuming one-dimensional steady-state heat transfer is taking place in radial direction only in the sphere. And material of the sphere and insulation 1 and 2 are homogeneous and isotropic. So their thermal conductivity and property of the fluid will remain constant. So these are the assumptions. Now let us enlist what is to be found out. So the very first thing we are supposed to find out is rate of heat loss from the sphere, composite spherical system. Second thing, as it has been asked in the problem, temperature drop at the interface and overall heat transfer coefficient. So we are supposed to calculate temperature drop at the interface 1 2, that is T23, and delta 2 3 . The second point is to calculate temperature drop at the interface between spherical vessel and insulation 1, and it is nothing but T2 minus T3. Similarly, we are supposed to calculate temperature drop at the interface 2 3, which is nothing but T4 minus T5. And finally, we have to calculate overall heat transfer coefficient based upon the inner area and overall heat transfer coefficient based upon the outer area. Now let us do the detailed calculations. So let us do the first calculation to find out the rate of heat transfer. Now in order to find out the rate of heat transfer, First, we must write down the rate of heat transfer through individual layers of individual layers of materials and fluid film. So, since we have assumed steady state and one-dimensional heat transfer, that is rate of heat transfer from inner layer of sphere to the outer layer will be equal to rate of heat transfer through interface where temperature drop is taking place, then temperature, the rate of heat transfer from the insulation material to then rate of heat transfer at the interface where temperature drop is taking place, then rate of heat transfer from insulation material to, and finally rate of heat transfer from outer surface of the sphere to the surrounding fluid. So there will be 6 rate of heat transfer. Now we can write the rate of heat transfer equation in terms of temperature drop and thermal resistances. So Q12 will be T1 minus T2 R T1 Q23 will be T2 minus T3, that is temperature drop at the interface to the RTC12. Q34 will be T3 minus T4, that is temperature drop at the insulation 1 to the R2. Q45 will be equal to temperature drop at the interface 2-3 to the thermal contact resistance at interface 2-3. Q56 will be equal to temperature drop at the insulation 2 to its thermal resistance, and finally Q60 is temperature drop in the fluid film to the thermal resistance of the fluid film. Let's say this is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, equation 4, equation 5, and equation 6. So these are the rate of heat transfer through individual layers of material and fluid film. Now many times these Intermediate temperatures like T2, T3, T4, T5, T6 are not known to me. Mostly the inside temperature and outside temperature is given to me. So let us express the rate of heat transfer in terms of inlet fluid temperature and outside fluid temperature. Under such condition, all the thermal contact resistances of the materials occurring between these two temperature limits will get added up. So this will become RT1 plus RTC12 plus RT2 plus RTC23 plus RT3 plus RT infinity O. There will be 6 thermal resistances. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say this is equation number 1. So T infinity I and T infinity O is given to us, and RTC12 and RTC23 values are also given to me. So if I could calculate RT1, RT2, RT3 and RT infinity O, I can easily calculate rate of heat transfer. Now there, let us start calculating RT1. So RT1 is nothing but conductive thermal resistance of spherical vessel, and since it is made up of spherical shape, so for spherical shape, from data book I can calculate its thermal resistance as 1 over 4 pi K1 into 1 over R1 minus 1 over R2. This formula is given in heat transfer data book. No need to mug it up. Only thing, you must know how to use it. So after putting the value, I will get the value of RT1 as 1 over 4 pi. The thermal conductivity of this spherical vessel is 20. Its inner radius is 0.2, R1 is 0.2 and R2 is 0.225 meter. So this way I will get the value of RT1 as 2.2105 into 10 to power minus 3 Kelvin per watt. So I have done some intermediate calculations to get the value of RTC12 and RTC23. That has been done to match the unit of thermal contact resistance with the unit of other thermal resistances. Then RTC12 and RTC23 are given to me, so there is no need to calculate those values. RT2 will be conductive thermal resistance of insulation 1, And once again, the insulation is also of spherical shape, so its thermal resistance can be calculated as 4 pi K2, its inner radius R2 and its outer radius R3. After putting the values, I can calculate RT2 as 1 over 4 pi. Thermal conductivity is 0.06 of insulation 1. R2 is 0.225 and R3 is 0.275. 0.275 and R4 has 0.325. Let's remember the value so that our time of scrolling down will be saved. So RT2 comes out 1.0717 Kelvin per watt. Similarly, RT3 will be conductive thermal resistance of, this is insulation 1, and RT3 is conductive thermal resistance of insulation 2. It is also of spherical shape, so its resistance can be calculated as 1 over 4 pi K3 R3 1 upon R3 minus 1 upon R. Taking the value of these parameters, 1 over 4 pi K3 is given as 0.12, R3 is 0.275 and R4 is given as 0.325. After calculation, I will get this value as Kelvin per watt. And finally, RT infinity O. It is nothing but convective thermal resistance of surrounding fluid. And since it is a convective thermal resistance, so I can calculate it using this formula. RT infinity O 1 over H infinity O. The outer surface area will be 4 pi R4 square. The value of H infinity O is given as 15, 4 pi, and R4 is 0.325 square. So the value of RT infinity comes out as 0.05 Kelvin per watt. So as you can see, we could calculate RT1, RT2, RT3 and RT infinity O. So 4 resistances we could calculate. 2 already in the form of thermal contact resistances have been given to us. So let us calculate total thermal resistance, summation of RT, RT1 plus RTC12 plus RT2 plus RTC23 plus RT3 plus RT infinity O. Do not do the direct calculations, rather you put the values first. RT1 is given as 2.2105 into 10 to power minus 3. RTC12 we could calculate 9.431 and 6.341. So RTC1 is given as 9.431 431 into 10 to power minus 4. RT2 we could calculate 1.0717. RTC23 is given as 6.3 into 10 to power minus 4. RT3 is given as 0.371, and finally RT infinity O is given as 0.05 Kelvin per watt. So this will give me the value of total thermal resistance as 1.4965 Kelvin per watt. So this is not our end result. We are supposed to calculate rate of heat transfer. So once we have the value of total thermal resistance, now from equation 1, Q is equal to 160 minus 30 over 1.4965. From here the rate of heat transfer will be coming as 86.87 watt. See, we can do the unit calculations as well. This will be Kelvin and this will be Kelvin per watt. Kelvin will get cancelled. So the unit of heat transfer or heat loss will be watt, 86.87 watt. This is answer number 1. Now let us do calculations for delta 12 and delta 23. That is temperature drop at the interface. So as you can see here, temperature drop at the interface is coming into equation 2, and temperature drop at the interface 2-3 is coming into equation 4. This is the temperature drop at the interface 1-2, and this is the temperature drop at the interface 2-3. So in order to calculate these temperature drops, as we could calculate the value of Q, if I recall equation 2 and 4, I will be able to calculate T2 minus T3 and T4 minus T4. So the calculations for point number 2. So first, recalling equation 2, which is nothing but Q is equal to T2 minus T3 over RTC12. The value of Q as 86.87, T2 minus T3 over the value of RTC1 is 9.431 into 10 to power minus 4. So from here the value of T2 minus T3 will come out as 0.081 Kelvin. This is answer. Similarly, recall equation 4. Q is equal to T4 minus T5 over RTC23. So 86.87 is equal to T4 minus T5 over 6.31 into 10 to power minus 4. This is the thermal contact resistance at interface 2,3. From here, the temperature drop at the interface 2,3 will come out 0.054 Kelvin. This way we could calculate temperature drop at the interface 1, 2 and 2, 3 by virtue of thermal contact resistance. And finally, let us calculate overall heat transfer coefficient based upon the inner area and outer area. So, based upon inner area, Ui into Ai is equal to 1 over summation of RT. We have this relationship between overall heat transfer coefficient and total thermal resistance. So Ui is equal to Ai is nothing but 4 pi R1 square into summation of RT. 1 over 4 pi into 0.2 square, and the value of total thermal resistance is 1.4965. From here, the value of overall heat transfer coefficient based upon inner area comes out as 0.752 watt per meter square Kelvin. This will be the answer. Then, based upon outer area, UO will be equal to 1 over AO into summation of RT, where AO is the outside area, 4 pi R4 square into summation of RT. Let us put all the values. 1 over 4 pi, outer radius is 0.325 square into 1.4965 is the total thermal resistance. So from here, the value of overall heat transfer coefficient comes out 1.986 watt per meter square Kelvin. So with this, we could solve this problem.